everyone. Kat here, your favorite ginger bibliophile. I hope you're all doing really well, and I hope you're in the mood for a Grimm tale, because that's what I've got for you today. Another entry from my Grimm Brothers anthology. Let's see here. We are on tale 18 now, and there's a few others that sprinkled throughout that we've already done from when I first started and had to read my favorites from, Disney. So hopefully this is recording. I cannot see anything but the timer going on the blank preview screen. But if that's not your thing, check down below for the animals you're really here for. I've got a whole playlist of them. And all the other, little stories and reviews of my favorite genres. So hopefully you'll find something that puts a smile on your face. And if you do, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss it next time it comes up. But in the meantime, we'll get into a super short one that I have never heard of before. It's the straw, the coal, and the bean. And we even got a cute puppy still sleeping over here, so we're not gonna mess with her because she's just gonna yell at me and start beating me up. Getting by on her cute good looks. There once was a poor old woman who lived in a village, and she had gathered a bunch of beans that she wanted to cook. So she prepared a fire on her hearth, lighting it with a handful of straw to make it burn faster. As she was emptying the beans into the pot, one of them slipped to the floor unnoticed and lay next to a straw. Soon after, a glowing coal jumped from the hearth and joined the other two. Then the straw began to speak. Dear friends, where have you come from? Fortunately, I jumped out of the fire, responded the coal. If I hadn't used sheer force, it would have been the end of me. I would have been burned to ashes. I also escaped by the skin of my teeth, said the bean. If the old woman had thrown me into the pot, I'd have been cooked into a soup without mercy like my comrades. Do you think my fate would have been any better, said the straw. The old woman let all my brothers burn up in the smoke. She grabbed 60 all at once and put them to death. Fortunately, I slipped through her fingers. Well, what should we do now? Asked the coal. Since we were so lucky to escape death, I think we should stick together like good comrades, the bean said. Also, we'd better begin heading for a foreign country before there's a new fatality. This proposal pleased the other two, and they set out on their way. However, they soon came to a small brook, and since there was no bridge or way over it, they did not know how they would manage to cross it. Then the straw came up with a good idea and said, I'll lay myself across, and then you'll be able to walk over me like a bridge. So the straw stretched itself from one bank to the other, and the coal, who had a fiery temperament, marched boldly onto the newly built bridge. Yet, when it was halfway across and heard the water murmuring below, it got frightened and stopped in its tracks. It did not dare go any further, but now the straw began to burn, broke in two pieces, and fell into the brook. The coal tumbled after, and as it hit the water, it gave up the ghost. The bean, which had cautiously stayed behind, had to laugh when it saw what happened, but it was unable to stop and kept laughing so hard that it burst. Now it would have been all over for the bean were it not for a traveling tailor who had been resting near the brook. He felt so sorry for the bean that he took out his needle and thread and sewed the bean together. The bean thanked him most kindly, but because the tailor had used black thread, all beans have since then have had a black seam. Well, that one was quick, but definitely a weird one. Hopefully the next one is more interesting. And oh, it looks to be a much longer one next week, but with a picture in it. What's it gonna be? You'll have to come back and find out. So, in the meantime, bye. Happy reading.